morning, everybody. I'm T. Bruce McKinnon. I am the president of Elevator World, and I appreciate you guys attending today's presentation on the Turkish elevator market. Over the last 15 or 20 years, Elevator World has grown significantly across the globe with a strong presence in India, Europe, UK, the Middle East, as well as Turkey. In 2014, Elevator World acquired Asansör Dünyası, which was the leading publication for the Turkish market. And at that time, we established an office there and really started growing in that area, added our Middle East publication a couple of years later. And so, we've got a pretty good understanding of what's happening in the industry globally. Today, we have Bülent Yilmaz, Managing Director of our Istanbul office. Also, Devran Gaykazer, who is the founder of Genimek. These guys are going to provide some insights to Turkey's role as a strategically located and highly professional manufacturing hub for the elevator industry. So give these guys a round of applause, and they'll be updating you on the Turkish market.
Hello, I'm Bülent. I will try to, I guess many of them have been in Turkey or not, but I will try to introduce my own country about what's happening there, what kind of product we are able to produce there, and what kind of market size to the US industry. As you see from the map, our country has a big middle of the world almost geographically, and this brings a lot of advantage to the country, not only about the logistic for other things, also reaching to the population, time zone, many advantages. So Turkey, with the 87 million population, and has a 87 million population, but the birth rate, if you compare to the Europe, it's really high than the Europe, and that's creating an opportunity. We have a really young population, as you see, 33 years average. And that means 76% of the population is working and young people. Our GDP, we are in the in the biggest 20 economists according to OECD records, and in the last decades about 16 in the globally. And about the PPP, the 12th degree in the globally, and projected growth rate is, although nowadays it's going a little bit down because of the economy and high inflation, but it's still over than 3 and 4. And maybe you notice or not, Turkey is a member of NATO, and also from the 1952, and the second biggest army in the NATO after the United States. I mean, any country in the Europe. We have really a big and strong army. Turkey, although is trying to be a member of the European Union, still not member, but the old standardization and codes are adopted to European Union. That means all products in the Turkey has all manufacturing and all products are certified to European Union standards, and everything. Not only in the lift industry, we are in the lift industry. Yes, we have EN 81 And from the other industry, all of products and manufacturing are under the European Union standards. As we talked about the country location, as you see, geographically, it's middle of the Eurasia. We are calling Asia and Europe as a Eurasia, you know. It's the middle of the Eurasia. 3 or 4 hours, we are able to reach all Europe, till middle of Asia and North Africa. That's mean 1.3 billion people are just in 4-hour flights, less than 4 hours flights, and $28 trillion GDP in this region around the country. What kind of opportunities brings to the manufacturer if you invest in Turkey and when you start to manufacture your products, what else in Turkey? Our government's giving a lot of subsidy to industry, investor to save the cost and many advantages. As you see, there is 4 opportunities that brings what free zones. Free zones, there is a lot of free zones in the country. That means you are able to produce in that free zone or trade, what else, without paying any VAT, corporate tax, and flexible profit repatriation, and also streamlined custom procedure. That's making more faster, escaping the procedures, and able to ship in 1 or 2 days to the all MENA region. Of course, Europe just in 1 day. Turkey is enable to US companies to, as we talked, access to 3 continental markets efficiently. And trade relations, although the trade relationships with this 3 continents, without any sanction, without any tariffs like the US, are able to reach $28 trillion estimated area. And existing distribution network is really strong because we have seaways around the country. That's maybe we have been in Istanbul, if you notice the Bosphorus, and the only gate to reach the Russia by seaway from the Mediterranean. It's under the control of the Turkey, and that's mean if you produce or sell something to Turkey by the seaways, it's easy to reach not only to the Europe, also without using Suez Canal to reach the North Africa, plus Russia, the other Black Sea countries like Ukraine, Bulgaria, Romania. I want to show, I guess many of you has fly with the Turkish Airlines once time or many times in your life because it's also very strong in the United States. As you see, this is the last from the August, this map. Now the Turkish Airlines as a Star Alliance member flying 124 countries with 240 international destinations. This is the most busy, I mean, able to reach around the world airlines. That's from the map, as you can see, that dark blue, more than 100 destinations non-stop around the world. Even in the United States, about 16 non-stop destination when you fly to Istanbul, and you are able to reach all around the world almost, including Australia. And what about the elevator industry? Elevator industry in Turkey is really significantly is growing up, and I want to give you some numbers about the market. Total export of the country, including complete system and components, is 750 million, and import is about 240 millions. As you see, there is a big gap, and this surplus has become just in last 20 years. Market is really locally, I not mean locally, manufacturing and exporting is really growing very fast. 1 month later, maybe you will be in Interlift, and in Interlift you will see more than 80 companies there. And Turkey now is in the third in the Europe, one of the biggest manufacturer in the Europe. As you see, 2016 trade deficit is minus 25 million, but in less than 20 years, now we have 500 million trade plus surplus. It's big difference. This is coming from the exporting numbers are growing significantly every year because country is, especially in the component manufacturing. My colleague is also, Devrim is one of the biggest component manufacturer here. He will give you, of course, more than information about the production more than me. And in Turkey, we have a very big exhibition also about the lift industry. I guess many of you have been Asansör Istanbul. It's among the third biggest exhibition in the world. The biggest one, Interlift and China exhibition. Then Asansör Istanbul is more than 200, 300 exhibitors and about 60,000 square meter exhibition we are hosting per 2 years. And there is another new exhibition also, Elevex. It's happening at Konya. It will be next year because Konya is also another manufacturing city, industrial city in Turkey. Now they have their own exhibition. It is also quite big, more than 200 exhibitor, about 45,000 square meter exhibiting area. It's gonna be international. Of course, it's not international like Asansör Istanbul, but it's growing fast. Of course, everything is not perfect in Turkey. There is some risk also about investor and manufacturer. I just want to mention about this risk. One of the biggest problem is foreign exchange, because the economy is currency volatility is high. Now our interest rate, central bank interest rate, about the 40%. That means if you invest the Turkish lira, you can get 40% income yearly. But foreign exchange rate, although it's stable now, is less than 40% yearly. That means it brings a lot of advantage, but you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Because in the past in our economy, sometimes such a big chance it was happening in one morning. Now 1 US dollar is about 30 lira, 40 lira. And last year it's about 33 lira. And I'm just giving some numbers about how it's changed yearly. We are expecting till end of the year it will be 42. And the regulations updates in the local, UKCA, United Kingdom regulations. For example, when you manufacture in the Turkey or the European Union, you are able to sell UK with the CE certification, but after Brexit, you need to get UKCA certification. That's mean, of course, the local, if you want to export, you need to some local certification also. Same for Russia. You need to get another certification for Russia, for the other Asian countries. This is another risk and increasing the cost of the certification when you manufacture any product in Turkey. And after sales capacity and training regional, of course, it's another problem because giving after sales services to the all countries, it's another cost and risk for the manufacturer. Time zone difference, not for the Europe and Middle East and Asia, it's not a big problem actually, even including China, but maybe for the US, it's about between 8 and 10 hours we have time difference. And also the inspection from the remotely, if I am talking about the US investor controlling the quality of the manufacturing remotely, it's, of course, it's not easy. Now it's turn. I'm giving the floor to Devrim. I just want to give some information about this crazy guy. He is the owner of the Genemek and manufacturing push buttons, but he's a man crazy about the quality. I am sure he will give you more information about the production and standards, the other things. Devrim.
Thank you, Bülent. It's a pleasure to be in front of you for today in the early morning of a Friday. Today is Thursday or Friday? I totally lost because of jet lag. I slept at 4 p.m., wake up at 11:30 or something, and sorry for the presentation. There might be some errors because of this. First of all, why you should choose Turkey? Because of several reasons. You need to find a backup for the production. Right now, because of some reasons, the east side may have some little problems. So you should look for an alternative. What we have in Turkey, for example, we are using almost the same alphabet. The culture of business is more or less same. So we can start from the affinity in business and the communication. Whatever we do together, you only choose your friend to work. The CEO of Mitsubishi told for the first day in the event, as you know. So we can start from the affinity that we share the same culture, same ideas, same values. So let me use this one. Where are we? Bülent has already explained our location. So that creates you a wide range of opportunity. If you would like to export something from US to Middle East or Europe, or vice versa. If you would like to import something from Europe or somewhere else, you have this advantage. One-stop sourcing. I will keep it short, not to make you more tired, so afterward we can make it more detailed. We can get into detail, but the consolidation is a real problem when you would like to buy something from abroad. One side you have guide rails, the other side you have traction machine or the door systems, so you need to combine in a 40-feet container sometimes. So you need this container is safe and arriving your port directly. So Turkey has this ability because most of manufacturers will give you this change. You can collect all your orders at one location, so they will create one invoice, so you will no need to fight with customs brokers in New York City harbor to make the clearance, customs clearance. 4 weeks. If you would like to buy something from Turkey by seaway, it's 4 weeks, and by DHL, 3 days only. So it's a great advantage because sometimes you forget something, so you cannot export it by air. So this 4 weeks is good because you will have no such problems. Do you remember this photo? Evergreen. So I think everybody knows because even Ruffles, you were unable to eat because of this ship. Everything is frozen for 6 days only, but the impact was for months. So because of the only passage is Gibraltar, you will have no such problem if there will be no World War III, of course. The tariffs is one of the key factors nowadays. Turkey is around 15% now, so it was from old, so now it's changing every day, as you know. So it depends the mood in the morning. So China says 67. I think it is more than this right now. Partnership. This is not a mobile phone which you can replace in 2 years. It's an elevator. There are 50 years old elevators. So if you will be a partner with a manufacturer, it should be for long run because it's mechanical parts, it's electronical parts, even push button. If you would like to replace it, you have 40, 45 push buttons in one elevator system if it is only 15 stops. So the spare parts, the rest of the parts has to be supplied for a long period of time, not to be in a danger. The capacity of Turkey, which is another point, you need to take care of it. The peak was 50,000 units. And I was in the sector at that time. We earned a lot of money at that years because it was on peak. 50,000 units means 50,000 cars, about 2 million push buttons. So it was a good era. Right now it's only 30,000 because entire world is in a little bit recession. But it's a proof that we have extra capacity for something. Code compliance. I was checking what kind of doors, push buttons you have. It is completely different than European style. Even in California, you have different push buttons. I just take care about that because it is strange. It is 4 millimeter stroke. You are asking for a push button. But on the east side, it is different. So more or less, some codes are almost same. Some of them are completely different. But the good thing is, you have wide range of products which you can obtain, or you can make some modification on it to make it suitable for your needs, for your code compliancy, because they are the real manufacturer. They are not buying something and packing them and sending to you. This is an opportunity for OEMs. If you have a special design or something, that means these manufacturers will be able to satisfy your needs. Ready to expand factories. If you would like to invest something, you have a couple of millions to spend somewhere, and you would like to have your own identity in Turkey. There are ready to expand factories which you can build by yourself. By the way, the mains voltage is 220. Don't bring your chargers and don't plug in it. It will explode. Be careful about that. Scalable operations. Today you need two cabins, for example, but next week you need 20 of them. Maybe you have made an error about the calculations or the drawings, so you need to replace it. Because of this excessive manpower, incomparable by China, by the way, but it is enough, you will have a chance to make some errors at that state. R&D, research and development. Turkey is different than any Far East countries because we are capable to redesign something. I'm not talking about cloning something that you will put on the table and they will make reverse engineering. No, Turkey is unique in some aspect. You can find different ideas, different designs, and different opportunities to make something, not only for elevator business and also for other industries. It is good to find new things. Special engineering solutions. So you don't need to be afraid that we have that kind of doors and it needs to be replaced. No problem. You just need to know your requirements perfectly, so we will have a chance to make it for you. The labor cost, relatively, is lower than Europe. The efficiency is something different, but the labor cost is about 20-30% lower than any European countries in some manner. That gives you a possibility to create a price advantage at the end. And you can let some people work on Saturday and Sunday. Can you do it for a German factory? No. So the time difference sometimes might be a problem. For example, it's 8 hours plus now. So my workers might be in the factory to finish something which needs to be delivered to DHL for tomorrow. So it's a great advantage. Sometimes it's elevator business. It's like intensive care. Sometimes you need the elevator running tomorrow because it's a key element for a building. Skilled technical workforce. Sometimes some projects seems impossible, but because of this 20 years old experience in elevator industry and different applications for different applications, different buildings, we have wide variety of solutions ready to serve. So this is one of the best factories in Manisa, Turkey, Ali Onur. They 95% work based on export. What's the reason? Because these are the Bugatti of elevators in a manner, and also my friend, of course. Steel processing, what about the raw materials? Where do you buy the steel? This is my hometown, it's Karabük, where I born. So we have the furnaces to melt down iron, making steel. So this is the real source. You can eat kebab, and you can also buy iron. So it's on the same place. This is we call them high furnaces. Maybe most of people knows it. The ecological, this is my factory, and I'm proud of it. One thing, we are completely green because 700 kilowatts of solar, it is all powered on, so we don't need fossil fuels. That kind of advantages make Turkey has some chance to work with US supplier like you. Thank you very much for your time. Any questions, I am glad to answer.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, guys. Well, thanks a lot. Feel free to talk to these guys throughout the event. Appreciate you guys attending.